Hi, everybody. Amber with Amber Approved, your leading health food expert. Hope you're having a great day. I today want to talk about the negative effects of no self care or little self care. So, I often find in what I see with a lot of my clients that I work with, and I used to struggle with this as well, was having enough time for myself, learning how to set boundaries, learning how to say no, and really learning to prioritize what is really important and what are things that I need and want to do, and what are things that I'm doing because I'm pleasing other people and I'm afraid to say no because I'm afraid of their reactions. So I really, really want to talk today and explore more of that. So, first of all, there's a lot of negative effects of no self care. So, I want to just dive into briefly what a few of those are. And a question that I really want to ask you to reflect on for yourself right now is on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low, 10 being high, where would you rate your self care right now? Are you a 1? Are you a 5? Or maybe you're kicking butt and you're an 8 or a 9. So where are you? And if you're lower than an 8, there's always room for improvement, even if you're higher than an 8. But why is self care so important? I often see self care and a lack of self care more so to be a massive trigger for self sabotage. So if we are not taking care of ourselves, we're more tired, our bodies are more inflamed, our energy plummets, our hormones get affected, our cortisol and our stress hormones going all over the place. We can be more sensitive to foods, our digestive system can get more sensitive, our moods go in the toilet, our motivation goes down, and we cannot show up to be our best self if we're not taking care of ourselves. And if we cannot show up to be our best self, how can we show up to be our best self for others, for our friends, our families, our loved ones, our coworkers, etc.? So this is not a fun place to sit in, yet I see so many people putting themselves as their last priority and that they've been living with this for years. So, quick story, I used to have myself as my last priority. I spent hours upon hours working, didn't get enough sleep, wasn't drinking enough water throughout the day, was still eating pretty good, but I was stressed to the nines and so was my body. So, upon understanding and realizing that I was my lowest priority and seeing how my body was suffering, things like hormone imbalances were going on. I was exhausted. I had really bad sugar cravings. I was gaining weight even though I was eating really healthy. I was overcompensating and I wasn't getting enough in return, especially giving a lot in my business and making too many promises and saying yes to too many things. So I was draining my energy in every area of my life. It was when I became aware of this and that my self care was a low priority and that I was again overcommitting to too many other things that I was like, whoa, I need to make some major changes. And one of those first steps with changes was understanding that I had no boundaries and that I needed to learn how to set boundaries. And I often, again, will see this with a lot of people that I work with is that there's a lack of boundaries set. And we will often delay setting boundaries or don't understand the meaning of setting boundaries because, again, we're just caught up in this lack of self care. We're flying by the seat of our pants and we're not taking the time to be aware that our bodies are yelling at us and not happy with us because we're not listening to them. So, setting boundaries is very important and a first step of self care. So, this is things like blocking out time for yourself in your scheduler and sticking to it. This is learning how to say no to people or projects or events and things that you just have no desire to do, but you're saying yes because you don't want to let someone down. You're afraid of what they're going to think. You might be afraid to lose a friend or getting in trouble or disappointing someone. Most times when we learn how to set boundaries and say no, we build way more respect and get way more respect from other people. They will no longer walk all over us and they'll actually be more apt to be open to different ideas and asks that you may have moving forward. And when you set boundaries, you're protecting yourself, your own energy, your health and well being, and you have more time to focus on you. So maybe look at areas of your life where you're saying yes too much, you're overcompensating, overcommitting, and you're not happy with that. I also really invite you to look at where are places where you're spending too much time on things that do not equate to self-care to help balance your health physically and emotionally. There's so much to explore with this topic, and I could keep talking and talking and talking. Lucky for you, I have recorded a podcast for my No Sugarcoating Podcast that you can find on iTunes, on amberapproved.ca. The links to check that out will be below and in my bio. Episode 50 of the No Sugarcoating Podcast is going to be all about the effects of no self care boundaries, and how those can equate into really, really intense sugar cravings and lots of other symptoms that you may be struggling with, including struggles to lose weight. If you can relate to this, you'll definitely want to subscribe to my YouTube channel here. You want to check out amberapproved.ca, and you'll want to check out the No Sugarcoating Podcast, like I said, which is available on my website, iTunes, and all podcast apps. I also have a private Facebook group for the podcast in which we're talking about lots of different health topics, and there's a lot of people that can really relate to what I am talking about. You can search for that on Facebook at the No Sugarcoating Podcast. I am going to be posting videos on Fridays, so you can stay tuned for those then. I hope you got a little bit out of today, and I will catch you next time for my next video. Bye!